Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, so this one is a question for final exam, which is the last topic, our last topic. Actually, the last topic is your group presentation. So this one is last topic to be tested in final exam. Alright, so this topic is Islamic equity market, the one that we covered last time. Alright, so basically, this is the latest question. Again, question 4. Total mark is 25 marks, right? So let's see the question. Equity market, the meeting point for buyer and seller of stock, where the stock are issued and traded. This include the Islamic equity market instrument. The main instruments is in the Islamic equity market are share or ownership right of companies. Islamic equity market instrument can be in the form of share or quasi-equity. Alright, so the first question is explain briefly the meaning of quasi-equities. Alright, so as per mentioned during the lecture class, quasi is half. I mean is part of. Okay, so basically this is the answer, the simplified answer. Quasi-equity is a form of investment that attribute both, which is debt and equity. All right. So on maturity, this debt can be redeemed for cash or converted into ordinary share capital. So of the issuing share or a designated entity at pre-agreed rate. All right. So basically, it consists of both. Right? It consists of both, which is debt and equity. All right. So that's why it is a quasi and the quasi equities. Right. So the next question. Investing in share is permissible as long as the activity are within the parameter laid down by Sharia. Okay. To ensure Sharia compliant investing, two layers of screening are applied, which is a business activity screening, which is the sector screening, and number two is financial screening. All right. So now we see. Remember, this one is the 5%, 25%, and everything, the one that we learned previously, 5%, 25%, and the for financial is 33%, right? So describe on the financial ratio used in the financial screening, illustrate your answer with the example for each of financial ratio used in financial screening. All right. So again, for ratio that we use, it must be less than 30%. Okay, so this is the cash over total asset, right? So this is the cash over total asset for financial. The question asks you for financial ratio for financial screening, right? So it is must be less than 33%, right? So the first ratio is cash over total asset, right? So this cash will only include cash placed in conventional accounts and instrument, whereas cash placed in Islamic account and instrument will be excluded. For example, the coverage ratio of cash conventional account instrument of asset is 36%. So it is compliance or not? In this case, it must be less than 33%, right? If it is 36%, it is non-compliance, non-Sharia compliance, right? So the second ratio is debt over total asset. Under the debt over total asset is debt will include only interest-bearing debt, whereas the Islamic debt is excluded, right? So, for example, if the ratio is 36%, so it is compliance or not? So it is non-Sharia compliance because it exceeds the 33%. Okay, so this is the screening part. Okay, next. Okay, these are activity of some of the companies which have both element of Sharia and non-Sharia activities. Right. So required explain the Sharia compliance status for each of above company according to Sharia Advisory Committee of Securities Commission of Malaysia. Alright. So actually in this question they list down all the activity in the middle. So I just put the activity at the bottom so that I can explain with the answer. Alright. So the first one is Zandin Berhad received interest income 45,000 from their fixed deposit placement in bank. The group revenue is 1 million. Alright guys. So now 45,000 over 1 million. So how many percent? Definitely it is non-significant, right? 45,000 over 1 million, right? So here the answer, uh, okay, still Sharia compliance because it is below than 5%. Okay, because it is below than 5%, so it is still Sharia compliant. Okay, right. So a large retail company sell alcohol as part of their total sales to the consumer. The income generated for alcohol is 1%. Oh, sorry, 1 million annually. Meanwhile, the total revenue is 5 million. All right, yeah. So 1 million over 5 million. 1 million over 5 million. How many percent? 1 million over 5 million is 20%, right? So 20%, again, the benchmark is 20% will be applicable. Okay, this one is for hotel and everything. So now in this question, okay, in this question, retail companies sell alcohol. So what about this question? So therefore, a large retail company is not Sharia compliant because it exceeds 5%. If hotel 20%, then should it's okay. I mean, it still can be accepted, but now it's not because it's more than 5% because it is a retail, right? So, right. So next part, Finial Berhad invests in a company which has activity in the tobacco industry up to 9% of its total sales. So how about tobacco? Remember the table that we have in our main slide actually, right? So it is exceed 5%, so it is a non-Sharia compliance, right? So the next part is Aun Mall Berhad rent part of small to the business trading in non-Sharia activity. The rental from the non-Sharia activity is 200,000 out of 1 million actually. This question is a repeated question from the previous number two actually. So, Barat, actually you can see here it is non-Sharia compliance because tobacco income reach 20%. All right, okay. Never mind, proceed again. A leading international hotel which has non-Sharia compliance revenue of 6% in the relation of its total revenue. All right, how about hotel? Remember this, the point that I gave you in the previous one. Okay, hotel is Sharia compliance because the activity is allowed up to 20%. Hotel is allowed up to 20%. Right. Okay. So the next part, this one is February 2023. Okay, so from this slide actually, Sharia is a Islamic law derived from Prophet divine relation and practice, namely Quran and Hadith. Alright. So the point they highlight here, usuri, gambling, and uncertainty are prohibited in Sharia. Right. So other than that, they also highlight the benchmark of 5%, 20%, which replace 5%, 10%, 20%, 25%. Alright. So explain five types of activity that can be affected by the change from the 5, 10, 20, and 25 to 5 and 20%. Right, so right. The activity that is affected, this one also got in slide, right? So hotel, stockbroking, weapon, interest, and tobacco. Right. So the next part, discuss two issues in stock screening. Okay, again, the question are on stock screening that can be used to overcome the element of subjectivity in determining Sharia stock compliance as below, or allowing prohibited activity and representing the non-monetary asset, right? So again, this is stock screening, eh? Okay, so allowing prohibited activity in certain some level of riba or and prohibited activity are tolerated when screening stock. So it imposes strict regulation. It will severely constrict the investment universe of investable stock available to Muslim, right? So the solution is dividend purification. Okay. So again, this is the issue. This is the issue, dividend purification. We discussed about this already, right? So dividend purification is pay zakat, pay charity, and everything, right? So next part, the next one, representation of non-monetary asset. So assumption used is the share represent ownership of non-monetary goods and property that are freely tradable allowed by Sharia. So the solution, it is allowed to trade share provided the great part of asset of the company by value are non-monetary assets. So it is okay in this case because all of your share can be measured to value of the money, value of the cash in instant, right? Different from the previous line, even different from the previous practice. Okay. So the next part, evaluate the difference between two issues in Sharia market as follows: share trading and gambling, investment and speculating or speculation. Right. So this one I just take answer from the suggested solution, right? Okay. So share trading, it is underlier, is share, while gambling is anything or nothing. Right. So the risk is a business operation and the share trading. This one is zero sum game, right? So no one party gain from another party loss, right? So share trading is business operation and market movement, while this one is random event. Anything can begin, right? Right. So share trading is allowed by Sharia, but does not necessarily all form of transaction in stock market are viewed favorable from the Islamic perspective. Again, Islamic disapprove speculative trading in stock market because speculation is like investment, right? Okay. So the next part is investment and speculating. Investment entail detail of analysis and research, while speculating is rely on rumors and hearsay. Remember, just like hearsay, right? Okay. So a long perspective at our an investment horizon, which under speculating is just want to seek a quick gain, right? So on the investment based on fact and figure, while under speculating is based on emotion, or totally emotion, all right? So in investing, forecast the prospective yield of asset over their cash generating period, while speculating is forecast the psychology of the market. Remember the one graph increase going up and going down, right? Okay. Right. So the next part, the July 2022. Okay. So determine the Sharia compliance status at the screening level. At the screening level for the following: A, permissible or non-permissible, and B, tolerant tax and financial screening. Right. So in this case, Accenture Berhad invests in Sinar Berhad, a public traded company in the entertainment and tourism sector. Sinar Berhad revenue and profit before tax are made up 70% in entertainment and the rest in tourism, which is hotel and resort, right? So in this case, you can see it is 17%, which is more than 5%. So it is non-permissible, right? Okay, so it is entertainment, right? Okay. So the next part is KTP Berhad is construction company with a subsidiary that engage in the trading and stockbroking. The subsidiary company revenue, profit before profit and tax approximate 20% of the group revenue, profit and profit before tax. All right. So in this case, it is permissible because group PBT from non-permissible activity is at 20%, which is not exceed 20%, right? Not exceed 20%. Again, this one they premise in what not allowed, right? Okay. The next part, okay, so the information below, provided below is based on the interest income of the company, Synergy Holding. The calculated amount is based on the company annual report, alright? So discuss the permissibility of the company in the light of Sharia financial ratio, alright? So now the question asks from the perspective of Sharia financial ratio, benchmark. Okay. So now a percentage of interest income to the group profit before tax is 11.1% in 2021. In 2020, it is 1.5%. Okay, the next formula is cash over total asset is 2.759% and cash over total asset is 2.59%, right? So how about that? Debt in 2021, it's 34.85 and 2020 is 8.72, all right? So by right in this question, okay, you can see classified into three categories here, all right? So the conclusion in this is non-permissible. Okay, why that is non-permissible? You can see, the contribution must be less than 5%. Okay, the contribution must be less than 5% from the analysis. The percentage of interest income to the group profit is 11.29%, which is more than 5%. So this one is 2021, right? So 2020 passed, but 2021 is not passed. So it is non-compliant, right? For financial ratio, okay, again, financial ratio, the analysis based on cash over total asset, this one, okay, you can see it is 2.759. Okay, so for financial ratio, the analysis based on cash over total asset and debt over total asset, right? For 2021, the ratio is 34.85. Again, this one, more than 33% of the benchmark compared to 2020. So the ratio is less than 33%. Okay lah. So the conclusion benchmark for interest is 11.29, which is more than 5%. So that's why, again, in this case, it is not allowed. Again, if we look into these three formula, only cash over total asset is allowed. but these two is not allowed. So by right, under this kind of question, if only one not allowed, so we are going to conclude as not allowed. So two out of one not allowed, so it is a non-permissible. Okay, all right. Okay, so B, uh, equity market speculation is prohibited because it leads to much share. Okay, due to the high indication of speculation, negara and commercial practice are difficult to avoid when entering in the secondary market, right? So discuss two permissible Islamic hedging mechanism. Okay, hedging mechanism. So we know there is an option here. Okay, option here. What is option? Option is provide some protection for the buyer and seller. Okay, related to conditional or satisfaction. Okay, two option. There's a conditional or satisfaction to fulfill in order for them to have this. Okay, urban or earnest money. What is urban or earnest money? All right. Conclude that the concept of buy urban is permissible and can be developed instrument in Malaysia capital market. It can be common practice in society to pay deposit in the business transaction so that the party will not lose the right with a certain given period. All right. So this is not contradict to Sharia, Islamic Sukuk principle, as it is a uruf sahih. Okay. So the legality of buy urban is permissible because hadith or prophet will indicate the prohibition of quick. This one is like earnest money is like a payment that you make to show your commitment. To show your commitment that you are going to purchase the item. All right. So the next one is one. One is an expression of willingness for a person or group person for particular subject. In the commercial transaction, a promise has a dual meaning because a unilateral contract, the offer and offeror know what is the promise, right? So this one is what in what we learn is what one also part of the contract, part of the contract, right? So the last one is salam contract. Again, the seller undertake to provide some specific commodities. All right. So in future, again, so this is a salam. So there's four that going to give you. All right. So the last one discuss the distinction between conventional financial screening and financial screening in terms of liquid interest and financial ratio. All right. So the three main ratio used in quantitative screening are liquidity, interest, and debt ratio. All right. So conventional screening, high liquid ratio positively because indicates the company able to cover the short-term obligation. Interest ratio used to measure how well a firm can pay interest due to the outstanding debt. And under debt ratio, the favor of low debt ratio. Right. All right. Under Sharia screening. All right. View liquidity gain can only come from liquid asset and only liquid asset only. And the Sharia asset should be high extent of liquid. Hence, low liquidity is preferred, right? So, as for interest ratio, Sharia view interest earning generally are non-permissible. So, therefore, interest-bearing securities should be kept low, which is as per allowed by the Sharia compliance. Right? A less frequently used financial ratio can be used for Sharia compatibility would be measure the level of income generated from non-compliance activity. Right. So these three only I just put it in video. The rest you carry on your own. Okay, thank you.